Hello, everyone. Hope you're having an amazing Monday and welcome to the Reality Bang. I'm RJ Johan, your host for this session, and thank you for tuning in. That's it. If you guys want to contribute to our topics, have any questions, or just want to tell us what an amazing job you're doing, you can reach out to us at 6364252164. So, for this edition of the Reality Bang, we'll talk about how the RCB celebration turned out and how it actually turned out to be a stampede and cause chaos overall. And of course, we have Johan here with us. It's great to have you back on the show.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Yeah, it's good to be back. Thank you for calling me, Johan.
Thank you so much. So let's jump right into it. Now, my very first question is now hold on to the joy of the moment, even when tragedy strikes during it.
Uh, if you ask me personally, the answer is somewhat no for me
Hmm,
because honestly, here's the thing: there are so many other IPL teams who have won over the years, but really
yeah,
RCB's win is a it's a slightly different sort of a feel because
hmm,
here you have a team that has not just been criticized, but they have been trolled. The amount of memes that have been made on RCB for the fact that they have not winning, the fact
yeah,
that they've had some of the best players in cricket have played for RCB, yet RCB never managed to win every year, and they got criticized for that heavily over the years. And
hmm,
finally, they ended up winning a tournament.
yeah,
And 18 years, and honestly, I think RCB for fans are such loyal fans. Like I think they are possibly the most loyal fans that you can ever see.
hmm,
And 18 years they have stood with the team. So
hmm,
so those 18 years, the fact that the team has not won, still I don't think you'll see a team where so loyally the fans have been supporting despite them losing over the years. So
hmm,
it's 18 years of waiting that finally happened on that day.
hmm,
So you have a huge group of people who have been waiting for so many years to finally happen, and when it happened, it's something that we all expected to be a great day, but it turned out to be such a horrific day. And it is very sad that such an amazing the moment in Bangalore, in Karnataka, the fact that their home team has won the tournament finally. But it's very sad that when you say the IPL tournament, this is what people eventually are going to remember. And
yeah,
that's the sad part. Like, I feel like people somewhat feel a little guilty even to be proud of the fact RCB won because of this stampede.
yeah,
And because of this incident, you're talking about 11 people who passed away who died in the stampede.
hmm,
Multiple people were injured, and I was actually researching about this, how they lost their lives. And the doctors apparently said the main reason was asphyxia.
yeah,
So because of a lot of people crowding up and being there together, the
hmm,
oxygen level reduced, I think.
yeah,
So because there was the oxygen was lesser, because of that people started suffocating and people ended up losing their lives because of that.
yeah,
And like some of them, it was like physically they got hurt and they died. It's a very it's very sad to think of how 11 people came to celebrate a team that won so many years, but
yeah,
eventually they lost their lives. A lot of people got injured, and it is not something you can look back and even defend anymore, right? It's
exactly.
something that happened. It's some people lost their life. We have to acknowledge, we have to accept that truth, and we have to the next time we have to, if something like this happens, we need to make sure something it's slightly it's more organized. And that's the
Yeah,
and the thing was, it was very unexpected. I don't think anyone expected that many people to come. And I remember watching the videos and the photos that came out of the parade. Like, I
hmm,
remember that bus that was just turning and entering the Chinnaswamy's stadium road, and I saw just people were crowded over there in the
hmm,
side.
hmm.
I don't know how the bus even moved throughout. Like, everyone was just standing right, like if there was a person standing literally right in front of the bus, so
Oh,
moving so I couldn't believe that the bus
hmm,
even entered the stadium. That's how packed the whole road was. So
hmm,
it
hmm,
was crazy. And the fact that they came to celebrate their team, and it's very sad to know that this is how things ended up.
yeah. Like, I feel like this should have been a little bit more precaution taken, and at least medics on standby, like just in case anything happened. But
Mm.
I don't know, like I just feel very sad for the people who did pass away, and for everyone who are injured. My heart goes out to them, and yeah, it's just a very sad thing that happened, and I feel it could have been handled a little bit better, but I don't know. It just
That's the thing. Like a lot of mismanagement was one of the main
yeah,
reasons it happened, right?
exactly.
So, and the thing is, handling such a big crowd, like a lot of people were like doing like interviews, they saying like handling such a big crowd was is it's not an easy thing to do. It's very
Exactly.
difficult. So, but you can't. There's no way to defend what happened eventually.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
but that's the thing. I feel like it's very sad that you know after so many years that the RCB finally won, and
Hmm.
unfortunately this is what people will remember. So it's very
Yeah,
it's a very sad way what happened.
exactly. So coming over to the next question now, what does it say about this generation that so many people turned up and just to be part of something?
So I think one of the main reasons why so many people ended up coming for this for the parade was, I think they felt like they were part of something.
Hmm.
Once that all the group of people were together, they felt like they were part of something very large. So
Hmm.
unfortunately, all the people lost their lives, but if you look at it, you saw millions of people who came to that one road just to celebrate a team. So I
Hmm.
think to be part of such a massive celebration, they really felt like they were part of it. Like you saw people, that I saw videos of people just crying and hugging each other on the roads when they won the
Yeah.
tournament. I
Yeah.
saw people bursting crackers even before the last ball got bowled. And I saw so many things that we saw so many things that were happening. So I feel like one of the main reasons was they felt like they were part of something very big. Now
Hmm.
here the thing about cricket, like I always say the two biggest things in India, one is cinema and another one is cricket.
Yeah.
And these are the two biggest things in India. So the thing about something like cricket is, I think it's almost like every ball, it's somewhat like it gives them a sort of a hope. Because why I'm
Hmm.
saying that is because people, especially today, everyone are so busy with their daily lives, right?
Yeah.
Really. And sports for a lot of people, just like how gaming becomes like an escape for a lot of people in
Yeah.
some of their busy daily lives, I think the same thing, watching a game is also another way of like an escape for a lot of people. And
Hmm.
and the team they're supporting, I think the fact that you're cheering for them, the fact that you're really rooting for them and you want them to win, it's like creating like some sort of a hope in your daily lives when everything is so boring for people. I think
Hmm.
watching a match brings them some sort of a hope. And that hope is what IPL was for for RCB fans.
Hmm.
The fact that every single year, they saw RCB either reaching till the top and not winning, or doing very bad every season.
Hmm.
So I think the fact that so many years of hope, that the fact that one day they'll win, and they eventually won after 18 years, I think
Yeah.
that was the reason, such sort of a celebration happened. You're not talking about a one day sort of, a hope of just a day. It was something that happened, or it was a culmination of like 18 years of waiting.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
different sort, it's a different sort of a celebration that they had. And
Hmm.
it people get very emotional also, when when their favorite team wins. Like you see, like I remember 2023 when CSK won the IPL tournament. And I remember like the last ball, they were in like a huge, like they had to score like one for 4 runs in one ball. So
Yeah.
literally they were on an edge. So there's either a win or a lose. So I
Hmm.
remember one girl in that, she was holding her hands like this and she was crying and praying, you know. And you know, although I'm not as big of a cricket fan as a lot of the others are in this country,
Hmm. Hmm.
but it's crazy to see, someone, going so emotional about that last one ball. And
Yeah.
like for me, because I don't enjoy the sport more as much as a lot of other people, I don't understand that. but then
Hmm.
you also see how with their, with their boring, with their daily lives, where they don't like a lot of things, that happens in their
Yeah.
daily life. This brings that hope to them. So I think that I think that last ball when RCB finally won the IPL, I feel
Hmm.
like for a lot of people it made it didn't make their day. I think it was like the best moment of the whole year for them.
Hmm.
It's that sort of a celebration for RCB that came over the years. So I think it's a lot to do with, like, there's like a hope that they have, that they hold on to when they see these teams winning.
Exactly, exactly. And even like to see the amount of crowd that actually showed up, I can say like, it's dedication for their team, and the fans' dedication, which is quite important nowadays. Like we see in various movies, various movie stars and all, they have like a solid loyal fan base. And
Yeah.
the reason why they are able to, keep going and keep pushing so much, and keep on doing their best. I'm not talking about only in movies. I'm talking about, in football, in hockey, in
Hmm.
badminton, all of, like the big sports. Like every one of them like have their own loyal fan base, and the reason why they're able to perform so well is just because of their fans, because they want to,
Hmm.
do everything in their capability to, make their fans proud. At least, their fans get to say, you know what, my guy won, my team won,
Hmm.
that kind of thing.
Hmm. And also, it's like I feel like it's been like the pressure always, kept getting higher and higher each year by
Yeah.
year for RCB. I feel
Hmm.
because every year the amount, that they get hyped up,
Yeah.
and they don't end up winning the tournament. I feel like, it became a troll towards the end that RCB will never win a tournament. That became a thing, right? RCB will never
Hmm.
ever win a tournament. And
Yeah.
finally, I think one of the things is that RCB fans finally, I think it was a way of telling to the other, team fans that we proved you wrong.
Yeah.
And I think it was that moment we proved you wrong, and we are going to show you, the how much we love our team by proving you guys wrong. And
Yeah.
hence the parade happened. And again, we need to remember, unfortunately, people lost their lives in that time.
Yeah.
And again, it's very sad to think that such a amazing day ended up turning into such a dark sort of a moment that people will
Exactly.
remember by.
Exactly. Now, why do some moments become more important than, just entertainment? It almost more like hope.
I think with especially with cricket, I think, let's just say, actors, right? In India, especially, there are certain actors who have an insane level of stardom.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the stardom goes beyond, like, it's
Hmm.
unexplainable sort of a stardom that they have. And you see the fans doing things that, you're not even able to understand how people are willing to do this much for a fan. I mean, there
Yeah.
is one story I've heard where this one fan of one Telugu actor, Chiranjeevi, he
Hmm.
walked from his village to Hyderabad or something like that.
Wow.
And so that's like a 2 3 days of walk. So he walked from
Hmm.
his village to that just to just so that he can watch a movie of his, because and I think he wanted to meet the actor as well or something.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's crazy to think like someone would do this much for their favorite actor. I think
Yeah.
this, and I feel like one of the reasons why people like, are so crazy about a star is because I feel like they end up becoming a part of that fan's identity itself. I
Hmm.
feel like they ended up, like, they ended up becoming like a representation of the person. So,
Yeah.
something happens to that person, it's like the fans, it's like it's hurting the fans on a personal level, because it's like, there's one, you're not just attacking a certain celebrity or attacking a person who's a big part of my life. I think
Yeah.
same thing goes for sports as well. I
Yeah.
think, the fact that, yeah, if they're supporting a certain team, you know the fact that they, like I mentioned in the earlier question, right, it's like
Hmm.
a hope that they hold on to over the years.
Exactly.
And I think, when things get so boring in a daily life and you want something to get better, that's what people say, like a way of escaping. It can be anything, and for a
Hmm.
lot of people it is cricket, whether we like it or not. So
Yeah.
I think that's why it goes beyond entertainment for some of them, because it's not just, just a couple of hours of watching something and getting a, getting a level of entertainment and happiness. Even, the day they win the match, I feel like after they shut the TV,
Hmm.
that, when they lose the match versus someone when they win the match, I think when you turn off the TV, that feeling of a person will be very different both the times.
Oh yeah,
I feel.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
and yeah. So I think if they win, I feel like it's something they hold on to even the next day, despite what happens to them. Even
Hmm.
if their work gets very boring for them, something, they're very happy that their team ended up winning the match, and I think eventually they wait. They have that same sort of an expectation for the next match. Like they're much more positive about the next match. So
Yeah.
I think one match after the other, like when one match they end up winning, there's like a the positivity builds up a lot higher for them for the next match.
Hmm.
So so I think because of these things, when it goes beyond just entertainment for them, because if they feel like, these people are representing, a bunch of people who feel like, this is not just, they're not just playing for themselves, they are playing, it's like they're playing for me. They get
Yeah.
almost that level of feeling fans feel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's like, so I think it's like a representation of themselves, that they see with these with the cricket team. So that's
Yeah.
why anything, yeah, like for example, a classic example is the Messi versus Ronaldo thing, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, if one person says, they like either of the two, the other person, like, you can see the anger they get.
Oh
It's
yeah.
become, I mean, I mean, that fandom for the both of them is pretty crazy.
Hmm.
And I feel like for a lot of people, it's almost like they've become part of their lives, right?
Oh
You
yeah.
can't take, yeah, you can't take that away from them. That's how important they become. They,
Hmm.
and it's really, in some sort of a way, I feel like they end up learning a lot of things from them indirectly. I don't know how, but a
Yeah.
lot of people, I've heard a lot of people say, I've learned from these people a lot.
Hmm.
So I mean, it's a very unexplainable sort of, and I love that they have, that they hold on to with these people, that eventually such sort of it goes beyond just entertainment, because it's a part
Yeah.
of their daily lives,
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
hold on to.
Yeah. Like even as you said, like there's so many people who idolize these players and movie stars as well, and their whole personality sometimes becomes like them. Like for example, take Ronaldo fans. Like if you ask a person, like why is he working out, or why is he working so hard in his life, he'll be like, what, my idol Ronaldo, he worked like this. He'll give like a full history, which I had no clue about Ronaldo, but he'll
Mm,
give you the solid history. And that kind of motivates other people, like if they could do it, why can't I not do it?
mm,
And of course they are not anything greater than us. We are at the same level, only thing they worked a lot more hard, and they had the vision in order to reach where they had to reach. And
mm,
which makes a lot of people like you and me and people like all of us think like, okay, we also can achieve it if we put in the same amount of dedication, the same amount of hard work.
mm,
Maybe someday we are also going to be like Ronaldo, Messi, and all the
mm,
famous movie stars, cricketers, all
mm,
of that. So yeah, it does
mm,
give hope, it does give you know a lot of motivation to young people, and I feel that is more required right now in this current
mm,
generation.
mm,
Because there's a lot of people who are depressed, there are a lot of people who don't have any drive of doing anything. They're just
mm,
going like, I don't know, a rat maze, right? You put rats in a maze and they just keep on roaming that same maze.
mm.
Life has just become like that for most of us. So
Yeah,
doing something
I mean,
extra. Yeah.
no, no, it's like how some, like, a lot of people I've heard, say, I remember this guy, this one famous actor, who's known for doing comedy movies actually in Hindi,
Mm-hmm.
and he got fed up because he was just doing comedy movies over the years, and he
Mm-hmm.
was just getting comedy roles, and it almost became a point he was just getting good pay just for the comedic roles, and he wanted to do different roles, and he
Mm-hmm.
almost wanted to give up, but
Yeah.
I think then he shared a story where one of his fans, said that, she was a cancer patient.
Mm-hmm.
And during that such tough moments in her life, watching this guy's movies is what helped her go through that, difficult days in her life. And,
Mm-hmm.
he got so emotional and touched by it. Like, he never ever realized that, that his comedic performances him making people laugh has helped him at such, at such personal, at such difficult moments in their lives.
Yeah.
When he realized that level of, help, the level that he has helped them, that's
Hmm.
when he said, I'm never going to quit comedy. I'll continue doing comedy after seeing such sort of, after hearing a story like this.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
a lot of people will, have said this to comedians, that, these comedians have helped them through those tough times. So I
Hmm.
think, same thing goes with like films and goes with cricket also. I feel like,
Yeah.
when people go through such tough times in their life, these cricket matches do help them get
Hmm.
over such difficult moments in their lives. So it's, it's a very interesting, like, I'm not a very hardcore sports fan. I do watch a little bit sports here and there, but then I'm not as much into sports as a lot of other people are.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, but I have other interests. I love movies, I like music a lot, and
Yeah.
I know how important, there are some bands and some musicians that are like personally, they're like, like some, I feel like if something happens in that band, some
Hmm.
one of the members leave or one of the members, pass away or something like that, I know
Hmm.
it will hit me on a personal level.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I know how much that will really break me, and I think that's where I need to understand it, in that way, that if that happens to that certain musician, how it
Hmm.
will affect me, same sort of a thing it will affect another person who loves cricket as much as I love music.
Yeah.
So I think you need to I think we need to understand it in that way, something that
Hmm. Hmm.
personal to you, that is beyond just entertainment for you, and how it will personally break you. Same thing goes for people who like cricket as well.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Now, moving on to the last question. Now, how do we honor a celebration that, brought people together, but it also broke hearts at the end of the day?
It's a very hard thing to celebrate, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like it's become, like I said from the beginning, it's a yes and no sort of a thing. I think
Hmm.
despite what happened, I hope people don't forget, such a huge victory that, RCB is finally, they got the trophy back to they got the trophy finally after 18 years.
Hmm.
And I feel like, it's very hard to also you ignore it. You can't ignore it because,
Yeah.
there is like nothing comes close to. I don't think they can ever, the fact that 11 people passed away and multiple injured. I don't think that comes. I don't think, a victory should be celebrated over, 11 people losing their lives, because I saw some of the people who lost their lives. I remember their parents also, like, doing interviews. One of the people who died, his dad was literally crying out in the interview. And
Hmm.
you need to look at it from their side, like, despite telling, you can tell, as positive things about, those people as much as possible,
Yeah.
that they came to celebrate joy, they came to celebrate for the team, and they came out of love. And but try telling that to the father. Do you think the father will ever be able to understand all of that?
He won't.
And the father lost the child because of this incident.
Yeah.
And like, you can't bring back, something like that. You can't change or erase such sort of a moment that happens. So I
Exactly.
think, and there is no doubt, some things didn't work out the way they want, they that they expected. So I think we need to, just accept the truth with what has happened. Nothing can't you can't erase that.
Hmm.
It's very unfortunate. Usually, like, when an IPL team wins, the celebration goes on for weeks, and
Exactly.
it goes on for weeks. Unfortunately for RCB, the celebration is not going on, because of this incident. And I think it's a I think it's fair that, they're not, celebrating it as much as they should have because of this. You need to
Exactly.
understand it. They need to. I mean, if their fans, they've spoken so much openly about that their fans are the most important people for them. If
Hmm.
your fans are the most important people for you, they have lost their lives. I think you need to respect that part.
Yeah.
And you need to respect the families also, who have lost their child because of this. And it's not something that they expected, right? It is
Exactly.
something that unexpectedly happened for them. Some of these parents found out that their child passed away through, one person, he found out his son passed away by watching the TV, I think.
Hmm. Hmm.
And some people got phone call from police and from some hospitals, and they
Yeah.
found out, And when you like that phone, hearing that your child passed away, some and that's not something that they ever expected to happen.
Exactly.
And they ended up and whatever happened, unfortunately
Mhm.
happened. So I think we need to accept, I think we need to just accept the truth. And just we need to hope that next time when something like this happens, a victory parade like this ever happens, it's we hope that it's much better organized. It's much, it doesn't end up like the way it has ended up. So I think we need to respect the families who have lost their lives at this time. I think that's more important than the celebration now, I feel.
Exactly. Like, definitely my heart goes out to all these families who lost their kids, because it's not easy to lose anything, and it's not
Mm,
easy to lose a person who has been in your family for quite a while. And of course, as you said, like, imagine you're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, fine, dinner's going to be great, family's going to come home, and suddenly you get a call, and they say, your son is no more, your daughter is no more, or your son has been critically injured or something like that, and that's going to devastate a father or a mother at any given stage. And
yeah.
that's something we should understand, and we should definitely have respect for each and every one of them, and we should give them our apologies for
Mm,
everything that happened. And next time, if anything, like, a
mm,
parade does happen, they should organize it a lot better. They should have a lot more precautions that such a thing doesn't happen, because victory parades have happened a lot of times. Even when Mumbai Indians won the trophy, it happened, but there wasn't any stampede in that. Like, it was organized in a whole different level.
mm,
So there were, a lot less injuries that happened, and things were organized a lot better. But here, I think
mm,
it just was, kind of jumped the gun. And
yeah.
I don't know, there wasn't enough time to organize everything, because they won the cup immediately. The very next day, they're coming back to Bangalore, and I
Mm,
feel they should have taken it a little bit slower in this. But it's okay. It just, things happened, and
yeah. And the
it was
thing,
a very tragic day. Yeah.
yeah, and the thing is, because because we are not in those parents' place, we may not understand, what exactly they're going through, right?
Exactly.
Le- and that's sort of a trauma that they're facing. It's an unexplainable sort of a trauma that they're going through. And it's
Mhm.
not, and there's no way we can, even, it's very hard. Like, I don't think anyone can even relate to something like that, because you're losing your child, who has gone for a celebration, who has
Exactly.
gone to celebrate their favorite team has finally won. and
Mhm.
uh, and death is not, it's very unfair, like, death is not at all something that they deserved. And
Yeah.
but we hope, we pray for the family. We hope everything, we pray for the family, at this time.
Yeah. For comfort, strength, and yeah.
Yeah.
And with that said, that officially brings us to the end of today's show. A huge thank you to Johan for joining today's show.
Thank you for calling me. Yeah, it was
Thank you
great.
so
Yeah.
much. Yeah. So remember, guys, we air on Mondays at 4:30 p.m. That's it. If you guys want to contribute to our topics, have any questions, or just want to tell us what an amazing job we're doing, you can reach out to us at 6364252164. And a huge thank you to our listeners for tuning in to this edition of the Reality Bang, your weekly dose of youth power, brought to you by FEBA Online. This is RJ Johan. Hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you next Monday. God bless you.